What's up, guys? So on today's episode, I think it's going to be a little bit different, more of a do-it-yourself. I'm going to be changing the headliner out on the Mini Cooper, and basically this is applicable for really any car. I mean, minus the removal and installation, because it'll be different on every car. But as long as you can get the headliner out, pretty much you can do this. It's really not that bad, and it's worth it. So let me show you how to do it, and let's just get to it. Okay, so I have this headliner that I pulled out of another car for the Mini. Obviously my Mini has like tan. This one is black. It's in pretty good shape. It just has the typical Mini problem where everything isn't stuck. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and clean this up a little bit, see what I can do to stick this thing down, and hopefully that'll work, and I'll just let it sit and then maybe get it in the car, hopefully. I'm not an expert on upholstering things by any means, so I peeled this back. It's got all this foam shit on there, and it comes off pretty easy. I think I'm gonna have to scrape all this crap off, maybe use a vacuum, get as much as I can off, and then I guess I'm gonna have to do the same thing to the cloth, because that adhesive isn't gonna stick very well if it's got this foam shit on there. So I'll do the best I can, and then we'll try spraying it. Okay, so I think I've changed my mind. So this fabric, even though it's not ripped or anything, it's got so much of this shit on there that's just gonna be so hard to get out of there. I thought about throwing it in the washing machine, but really don't want all that shit running through my washing machine. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna clean this up, and then I think I'm just gonna go to a fabric store and get some new fabric and just make my own headliner, because I think that might be the best way to go. Plus I can get some wild design, so let's do that. So I'm at the fabric store. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Never been to a fabric store before, so this is gonna be interesting. Something like this? I don't know. Hey guys, so this is what I ended up with. I originally wanted to do like a yellow plaid with like a black base with a yellow plaid, but it turns out I didn't have anything that was quite the right size. So basically what I found out from going to a fabric store is that they have the sizes written on the side. There's like some cardboard that's stuffed inside of it, and then it tells you how wide it is. Then they cut it off by the yard. So I was having a hard time finding something that was wide enough, because what I needed was it was just barely over 4 feet. And most of the smaller ones are they're like 3 feet or 3.5, somewhere in there. So it wasn't quite long enough. But this one I think is gonna work. It's about the right thickness, and I got it in the right length. So yeah. And then I also picked up some headliner adhesive, because definitely need that. Then I got some little clips to hold the edges to, keep it in place while it's drying. So whether that's gonna work or not, I don't know. We'll find out when I actually get to it. So let's dig into it. Okay, so I took, obviously I took the cloth off of there, then I went through and I cleaned this as much as I could. This is, it is honestly terrible to take this stuff apart. I get all this crap off of here. It's like sticky in spots, and like turns in these little balls. It was such a pain in the ass. Like it was at the point I could just kind of like do this, and it would just come up, and then I like blow air on it, and I was trying to use a vacuum, but it's about as clean as it's gonna get. I did notice that this headliner is slightly different than the one that's in there, and it's basically because on apparently the newer, like the updated ones, they have this hole right here, and there's like a little vent thingy. And then this one has holes up here for oh shit handles, which this one doesn't have oh shit handles in the front. I don't really know why, but I guess when I wrap this one, I'll just have to, just wrap over those and just not cut those out. But this one, I do have the little vent thingy for this, so I can cut the hole out for that one. And then I think these are all the same as the Mini, as this one, but on this one it has like a clock up on the top, and on the other one it's like something totally different. But yeah, you can see those little holes, and then like the rearview mirror and all that stuff. So I need to take the interior apart and get all this crap out of here so it's ready for the new stuff. And then I need to get the cloth onto there, and let it sit. So it's got to sit. It says a minimum of 24 hours. I mean, realistically, it's like the end of the weekend, so I'm probably gonna like put it on there and let it sit until next weekend and then reassemble. All right, so this is ready to go. Basically, originally I was thinking about just like dropping it, like grabbing both ends and then kind of setting it down on there. But I think this is gonna work better. I basically just sectioned it off so I know how much length I have, and I'm gonna spray this half, lay it down just on the center section. Then I'm gonna fold this back over here, do that center section, fold it back down, and then I'm gonna work on the sides. And hopefully it'll look pretty good. So let's try it. Okay, we're getting there, guys. I got most of the center, it's all laid flat. I started putting these little binder clips on the edges. I actually sprayed underneath and then curled it under, and then I've got those little clips just kind of holding it. I don't think it's really necessary, but I feel like might as well, you know, just to make sure it's got a nice, solid, firm adhesion on there. So at the moment, it takes quite a while because I end up having to like a spray, and then I have to wait for it, and then I just kind of do something else while I'm spraying. So it's just a lot of time just waiting for the stuff to dry, but we're almost there. Okay, so all the edges are done. So now I started making the holes for all the things that obviously have to pass through the headliner, like the dome light and that little vent thing that I was talking about. So I cut them and I sprayed the bottom side, so now I just got to adhere them underneath, and it should be good. All right, all done. Look at that. Said transfer, there's like a little metal plate here. There's a metal plate that goes under that one. These ones are all just wrapped around because obviously these ones screw through to hold the headliner in. This one is all clipped in because it's got like a plastic deal that holds all that unit in. You can see on the back side like how they're just kind of tucked underneath. And obviously this is the spot where the oh shit handle is that isn't going to be used. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. That looks freaking awesome. All right, guys, moment of truth. It's all done. Let's check it out. All right, guys, got that in. Looks awesome. Just gonna go over a couple things. Most importantly, the price. I know you guys wanna know. It was cheap, real cheap. I don't think there's anything you could do to a car that is this cheap that makes this big of a difference, like something that's that noticeable. Now, how cheap was it? So the fabric that I got from like this fabric store, just Joann's Fabrics, it was on discount. It was like 10% off or something like that. The fabric itself was like $25 for the whole thing, the whole roll. And then all I needed was that trim adhesive, which was like another $25. Honestly, that's kind of expensive for like some spray adhesive, but you know, it is what it is. And then those little clippy deals that I just got those from like Target. And like, honestly, you probably don't even need them, but I mean, they were like $3 or $4. So I mean, we're talking like $53, $54. And I did this whole headliner and it looks amazing. So if there's anything stopping you, you should just put that in the past and just do it. I will say, like, probably the hardest part of the whole deal is honestly getting the headliner out of the car. Like, on this Mini Cooper, like, there's little clips that are up in, like, in here, and these ones really suck because they're, like, screwed into these. these plastic pieces of trim so that they don't fly off when the airbags deploy. Huge pain in the ass to get out of there. It's really difficult to get them out without breaking them or bending them to shit. Somehow I did. I don't know. But overall, it's worth it to do this whole thing. I also, I don't know if you guys noticed, if you watched some of my previous videos, I did swap all this out to black, because before it had everything from like here up was all light gray. And because somebody before me had like pinned up the headliner, they had also like sprayed adhesive everywhere. There was adhesive all over the trim on, I mean, just everywhere. It looked awful. So I'm so happy to have all this back together. But yeah, I mean, do it, guys. It's awesome. I mean, you can realistically do any design you want. They have all sorts of stuff at fabric stores. Like, it's crazy how many different designs they have. I mean, realistically, the only problem that I had was like trying to find one that was the right dimensions, because some of them are a little bit too short and they wouldn't cover the whole roof. So you got to kind of watch out for that. But other than that, there's tons of things you could do. I will say, if you're gonna do it, I would say a lighter fabric is better. Like something that's thinner would probably work better, because you'll have less chance of it drooping down in the future. However, I will say you have to make sure that it's not like see-through, because like if you put the adhesive on there and then like put it down there and it's like see-through, it might look kind of funky. Maybe if it had light on it, I don't know. I made sure that I couldn't see my hands through it, so it was fine. Yeah, I mean, that's really it, guys. So, you know, I think that's gonna be it. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Peace out.